what I do.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I'm not good at speaking in front of people. I usually let JP do it all talking, because, you know, he talks a lot about what we both do, and it's like, that's fine. Long time ago, I started out in 35 millimeter, and then I had a medium format camera. When we met back in the 90s, that's when I got introduced to large format. He actually gave me a 4x5 first, and I tried a little bit on that, and it was like, okay, gonna call Calumet up and get my own 4x5. Here we go.
So the first date involved the actual
Shoot Phil's camera.
Pretty close to it. Actually, we met at a camera club, local camera club. I was the president there at the time, and he saw me, and well, it's all history. But one of our first dates was, I got this negative, can you print it for me?
That's wild.
That one's still hanging on the wall there. That's what started it all.
The dark room and the rest
So
of
it's
the
rather than a marriage made in heaven, it's a marriage made in
The
the
dark room, yeah.
I can relate.
The chemistry was there.
Walt was his day right
I
there.
just want to know if there was a Man Ray moment in the dark room where someone's tushy hit the light switch.
Did it turn on or off?
I will never tell.
It sounds like it must have gotten very emotional.
So about a year later, I decided, you know, 4x5 is nice. I want an 8x10. So I got an 8x10. Then a few months later, I got a Wisner 4x5 technical, and then on eBay I found a 4x10 panoramic back. And it was like, this is really neat, because I hadn't really seen one of these before, and I thought I could find me a niche. So I started shooting the panoramics, and then I decided I wanted to do something vertical. And when you turn it vertical, the back swing on the camera becomes the back tilt. And it's kind of cumbersome doing this. You can't really do it and try to be creative and all that. So JB built me a temporary swap out vertical back. I decided vertical, I want to do those two, so he built the vertical 4x10 camera, and then ultimately built me a vertical 8x20 camera. And I left out that I actually had bought a horizontal 8x20 camera too, so I'm not the typical wife that says, no, you can't buy that camera this week. I'm the one that you have to put the reins on, because I
So if someone's going to teach my wife to be MacGyver, it's JB.
in 2007,
Yes.
in 2007, I decided that I needed to just set the 8x10 aside, because going out into the field with two different types of format just wasn't working for me. So I decided Pano was, JB could do what he was doing, and I was not competing with the same shots. I was seeing things differently. So thus became my career, I guess you could say, in Panos. A lot of what we shoot is in the Southwest. There's a one or two that are here in Yosemite. I like to shoot trees. We don't shoot people, which is good. Trees, sand, rocks. It's amazing when you're looking at something on the ground glass upside down and flip, you don't really see stuff, but when it comes out of the chemistry, you go, wow, that's neat, I didn't notice that. Because there's a face here with the eyes, the nose, the chin, and then there's your shoulder. But when you're standing there looking at those rocks in the multiple dimension, it doesn't look like that at all.
It's funny, I see a horse's head.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more like a moose or.
Is it Capitol Reef? Is that Capitol Reef rock? Is that?
No, that's actually in Zion, when you go across the bridge and then back up to the tunnel,
Okay.
it's right there on the left. They fixed a new pullout right there for us.
There you go.
It was great, this neat rock that has all kinds of cheese rock stuff on it, and it's great. I love running water. I love being able to capture something that the eye can't see. And you know that it'll never be like that again. So, like Jim, I love trees. This was my tree in Zion. It's at the Temple Sonawaba. Every year we'd go visit there, and I had to go visit my tree. I shot it several times. This year I actually got it. It had a lot of rain, actually some flooding to go along with it, so the tree was saturated. I got my shot. This one is with an 8x20 contact print. One thing about my photos, you can't really tell if they're contact prints or enlargements. The next year after I got this one, went back to the park to say hi to my tree. It had been cut off right here.
Oh.
Because actually on the back side of it, it was dead. And so it was a hazard there, so.
I've never been able to work that tree, and I can see that you, with that format,
Yeah.
not sure if that's why it is, but you really make that, it was difficult. Oh, as I said, it's gone.
So if you see something and you like it, because I mean, like I said, I shot this a bunch of times. Fortunately, I was able to capture what I wanted before the tree disappeared or left me. The leaf just happened to be there. I didn't stick it there. It was great. There was a little bit of breeze there in Zion, and the wind was moving a little bit, but it stayed still long enough for me to make that shot. Everybody's got a grandpa that has a barn somewhere. This was actually in a state park, but it could be out on a farm somewhere. Rocks. Tree stumps that don't really look like tree stumps. I like doing tight details where you don't really know what it's a part of. I like the. We found this last trip when we were in Utah, we went over to Snow Canyon State Park and a slot canyon there. Shot this with a, whoops, lens, didn't say that. Tight details of trees that are still there. It's not just a stump that's actually, well, it's kind of a half a tree. It's withering away there in Zion. More details of rocks. Flowing water. Sometimes I like the cotton candy water. Like freeze frame it so you can really see the details. There's my forest shot there, and then just a close up of rotted tree stump, fallen tree. Now this one. Been trying for years to get some sand, and we went out to Death Valley, and where we stay in Zion, the Virgin River runs behind the lodge there. And the river had been up and flowing a lot, so it made these really neat ripples in the sand, and JB said, you gotta go check this out before the kids start stomping all over it. So we've been photographing all day, tired, but I went out there and got it, because it wasn't gonna last. And I finally got my sand shot. This is Upper Yosemite, and so is this. Photographing things that don't really, that when it's so closely shot, you don't know what it's a part of. Some folks say that it can go this way, it can go that way, it can go that way. The strength of a pano shot is having something interesting in all thirds of the shot. Something big and think it's great, it's big. Because it doesn't always work that way. It can't just be on its own as a big shot. It's got to have interest throughout.
I still love the tonality of that. It only goes up to like, what, it's on 5.5 or 6. I mean, and I'm so hung up when I do wood like that to get that almost near white. And it's somber, it was beautiful, it was just elegant. I just love that, the tonality. And it's quiet, but it's got its own energy.
And we take little digital reference shots of when we're out photographing, so we put in our master catalog, the kind of, here's all the exposure information.
You should display that on the wall with a something behind it so you can turn. Right?
But the tree, it's actually a juniper tree, and it's got an orangish tint to it, and in color, just the little snapshot, it doesn't do anything. But when you can turn it, use it as black and white, you can make it look beneath and not even at all what it really is. I shot this fallen tree in Zion several different times over the years with snow on and out, and I think I finally got the one that I wanted without the snow. And then that's the Virgin River there in Zion. So
Do you have a favorite one up?
my favorite this week, probably this one. Although the tree's special too, and the barn. But this one I think, because it's so unique, and you can't replicate it. Even, I think I only shot one negative. Sometimes I'll do two, and I've had issues in the past, especially with the 8x20 film, of problems with the film itself, the film emulsion. So if I think it might be a really spectacular something, I'll make extra negatives of it, just to be on the safe side. I think there's only one negative of this one. And even if I had shot a second one, I might not have gotten that curl the same way. So it's just the uniqueness of it. So that's it.
Little things that I noticed, Susan, this particular, I love triangles, that triangle right, know that you separated that tree
Tension
on
point?
purpose.
Right there?
Yeah, that's not a tension point, that's a depth point where you can see the tree is round and the rock is in front of it. That's attention to detail that's at a high level. I admire stuff like that. It immediately validates the artist that's responsible.
Well, my mom was a painter, and I like to think that I got a little bit of her artist eye subconsciously ingrained in me. I hope so.
What did your mom paint?
She was an oil painter, so she did still lifes. She did a lot. She did a series on colonial Williamsburg buildings. She did a few portraits of the family, the typical stuff. But mostly still life.
I'm absolutely enthralled with your use of the perspective line. Like almost every single one of your shots has perspective line going through it, which I absolutely adore. And every one that I'm looking at is also got a really neat sense of a curve or like a motion to it. Like all the trees have like a ripply motion. Like the water, yeah, it's got ripples, but like everything has like a curve and a ripple through it, and it has a perspective, like a definite line in it, which it's very unique, and it's very. I don't know if you do that consciously or unconsciously because it's just so prevalent.
I think it's probably unconsciously.
But like, like in I'm looking at it all and I'm like, yeah, I've just extricated the two water shots because of course those are gonna have swirls in them. But no, I was just like, I'm just absolutely amazed by that because of just how there it is and how it really ties all the way natural, like it doesn't seem forced or teased out.
Where are the oaks taken down there?
That's actually in Zion National Park. If you do the scenic drive, it's a big bend where the turns drop very sharply. And a lot of the limbs now have broken off, and so doesn't look the same anymore there either. Plus, they broke that area off, you can't even get up into where I would have taken that shot. So as time goes, areas are evolving, so you can't get to some of these areas anymore.
So it sounds like the transition for you was fairly rapid between starting with a 4x5 and you went right to this, it sounds like.
Pretty close to,
Okay.
yeah.
So it wasn't like, because I think about this, but I can't, you just handled the format so wonderfully, and so you almost needed that from the get-go. I mean, your first 4x5 was just, you knew that it was something that it wouldn't last for you.
The 4x5, I got it actually, and I think it was January of '98, and by 2001, first part of the year, I had the first 4x10 pano. By the first view camera conference that was held in Albuquerque,
I was there.
I bought the Corona 8x20 from Quality Camera, and thus became the love affair of
Yeah.
big cameras.
Go big or go home.
Anybody else?
What is it you think drew you to the 8x20 format versus 7x17 or, you know, any other, the other panoramic?
The 7x17 is too small for me. Sorry, Steve.
It's 2 against 1.
Story of my life, dear.
The 2.5 to 1 ratio,
Yeah,
it's the perfect ratio.
I think so.
And I wanted, a 12x20 would have been too big for me to handle.
Okay.
So the 8x20, I thought, okay, I can do this. As I get older and grow up, maybe I'll have to go back just to the the 4x10 format, but for right now, I still keep it big.
Now, okay. Now, being in Texas, why haven't you gone down to Big Bend?
I've been to Big Bend several times. In fact, I was like a charter member of the Friends of Big Bend National Park when they were getting that group together. And Big Bend is on the way to nowhere.
Well, it's in nowhere.
Yeah, it's in nowhere. I mean, so we want to make the most out of our travels. And so we like to make sure that the mileage is on the way to something. And it's just not on the way to something. Down in
But there's some
Austin,
nice things between there and Big Bend. I mean, we've out near Alpine and Marfa, and there's some great shots. I mean, if you follow Jim Evans,
no.
Jack Armstrong also comes to mind. Have you ever read Jack Armstrong? He has a book about Big Bend. I'll probably there.
Yeah.
I can check it out, but
yeah, he's got a studio in Marathon. It's been there, I think, for 20-some years, and he's got he used to do film, now he's digital. But he's got some wonderful stuff, not only from Big Bend, but that whole area. So,
well, for right now, we're concentrating mainly in Utah area and enjoying it and looking for snow most of the time when we head out in the winter.
dirty snow.
No,
20-something.
that's a terrific label, sad snow. That'll take away from this weekend. It might allow me to photograph snow.
Any other questions?
Well, I think I'm one of the few people in this room that's qualified to say this. Girls rock.
Or what now?